It's June 2nd, Thursday. I'm here live at LTV again with Natalie. Welcome, Natalie and Matt. We're still tirelessly reporting about what's going on in the Ukraine and also all the different efforts I Love Ukraine has been undertaking. And it's been nonstop again, even though the topic has been slowly dying out in the press. We are stronger than ever. So Natalie, welcome.
Thank you so much, Bernadette and Matt, for having me and I Love Ukraine here at your LTV studio. Thank you very much for your time.
So actually last week we both went to the Peconic School. Tell our audience a little bit about what the kids did there to help I Love Ukraine.
Yes, last week Bernadette and we had a little adventure. We went to the Peconic Community School, which is a local school, one of the schools that we're working with. And believe it or not, children learned about iLoveUkraine.org efforts, and they did a fundraiser for us. They performed a little dance, and parents donated money, and proceeds are going to I Love Ukraine. So that's why Bernadette and we went to the school to say thank you to children, and we talked about Ukraine and about peace and how we can help people in need. I don't know if you see, yes, so these are nice kids, and this is Bernadette, and yes, we had a great time, and children were absolutely wonderful. They asked fantastic questions. It was a pleasure to be there, and we are very grateful for their awareness how to help others, because that fundraising effort came from the school. We were not in touch with the school. I just received a call from the principal saying, come and pick up the check, which is amazing, I think.
Yeah, I enjoyed coming along because the weather was amazing, and there was
your birthday.
It was my birthday. Yes, happy birthday myself.
Yes, yes.
And there was actually another birthday girl, so we were. I should have put a sticker on as well. It was really cute to see, and yeah, for the kids, I could tell. For them, it was a really important notion. They had painted all those sunflowers, and they were like attached on the walls all over the school. So for them, this was their way of processing the topic and their way of giving back and making a difference.
Yes.
And so I thought it was great that you went there, and I was happy to come along because I think it means a lot to the children. And yes, I agree. They ask a lot of wonderful questions. I loved how you talked about your cousin who found refuge in Italy, and then everybody came along with like a family member or a friend they have in Italy.
Yes,
and so we went on Long Island. We have a lot of those.
Yes.
So that filled quite the conversation. So tell me, you were already in touch with another school, the Southampton Children's School. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, so we have been working with Southampton Children's School for a while now. They have been involved with the donation efforts of goods, and they worked with children on some little cute arts that you may have seen on our donation boxes. And the Southampton Children's School just had their annual fundraiser, and the most valuable item was donated to I Love Ukraine for the live auction. So it was a beautiful painting. Do we have a picture of that? It was a very beautiful painting.
Yep.
And it was auctioned, and proceeds went to I Love Ukraine, which is absolutely fantastic. And we're very thankful to Katie Bishop, who is the principal of the school, and all our volunteers who have been really, really involved and helped a lot.
Very good. So what's the newest project that I Love Ukraine is pursuing?
So our another shipment got, I'm like a little bit off topic, another shipment got delivered to Lviv right now, which is amazing. Everything is happening much faster, which is great news. And as a result, I started talking to the charitable organization Future of Policia that we're working with in Kiev, and I asked what they need right now, and they said because of the zone. They're very close to the war zone, and they ask for an ambulance. And we're thinking of the ways how we can fund this project.
So we would love to make an appeal today. Anybody who is interested in donating money to an ambulance that would be transported over to the Ukraine and put into action, please go to iLoveUkraine.org. Would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. So today we actually want to finish off on a positive note. There have been some positive events happening last night. And for that, I'm actually going to put our soccer expert into motion.
Sorry, I'm coming.
Yes, which is our very own Matt Lowndes.
Hey, how you guys doing? Great to be back on the podcast. I know I've been on before. Today, it's very awesome. In America, we had baseball after 9/11, and in Ukraine, they have soccer to look forward to. As Ukraine last night technically, beat Scotland 3-1 in the World Cup qualifier semifinal, the last spot in the World Cup. What's incredible about this is obviously they are in war. It is very rare that you see a team compete during wartime. And they had several players who unfortunately haven't even played in 6 months. And they still beat Scotland. They advanced to play Wales on Sunday at noon. If they win, they will advance to the World Cup in Qatar in December. And obviously, we have no idea what the state of Ukraine will be in December. But there are other countries and other organizations, including FIFA and UEFA, making sure that the Ukraine national team has the resources and whatever they need to continue playing both men and women's soccer. If you don't mind changing over to the photos, and please excuse my pronunciation of the names of the soccer players, but this is probably the most famous Ukrainian soccer player in the world, Alexander Zinchenko. He plays for Manchester City. I'm pretty sure he's the captain, or it may be Yarmolenko as well, but this was him crying before the game, pleading to end the war. As you can see, it was highly emotional even before the game began. And then this is after they scored the second goal. Those are probably Ukrainian citizens that live elsewhere across Europe, as this game was played in Europe. And you could see the emotion from the fans. You could see the emotion from Zinchenko and Sigankov and Yarmolenko right here after they scored one of their goals. The goal scorers were Andrei Yarmolenko, who plays for West Ham, Roman Yarmachuk, and Artem Dovbik. Definitely didn't say that right. And then this photo is really incredible. ESPN actually sent their senior lead reporter, Hunter Wright Thompson, to Kyiv to see what the city was like during the game. And this is after they went up 3-1 to officially win the game before the game was over. And basically the scenes in Kyiv was exactly what you'd think. The morning, everyone was on edge, not because of soccer, but because of the war. And right before the game started, he reported how the horns and sirens went off and there were active missiles and they prayed. I mean, what else are you going to do? There's not much you could do whether there's a soccer game or not. So they prayed and they forgot about it for 2 hours. They were able to escape just how Americans and specifically New Yorkers were able to escape 9/11 by going to Mets and Yankees games. Ukrainians across the world were able to escape yesterday and able to escape on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, their reality. And, soldiers were asking for updates and everyone was smiling and happy. And it's just a reminder how powerful, sports can be, and how even if it's just for 2 hours and even if there are bombs and missiles going off and you hear gunshots, you can escape. Soccer is a global sport. It's the most watched sport in the world. We've talked about the boys that play on the Southampton team, the refugee boys. It's an incredible thing to see, and to be able to, give soldiers hope and to give politicians and different citizens across the country and the entire world hope of some kind, even if it's through a game. It's incredible. I mean, that's the language of sport across the world.
I think it's so important also for people around the world, and especially the people in the Ukraine, to still see their flag.
Yeah.
I mean, that the meaning of that that cannot be overstated enough. I have a question actually, Matt, because I don't follow soccer as much as you do, even though I'm the European here, I have to say. Is there a team from Russia also in the tournament?
They are expelled. Russian athletes from pretty much every world competition has been expelled across the globe. I was actually listening to a podcast this morning, unrelated, but it was about apartheid in South Africa. And at the same time, during apartheid in the 70s and 80s, before Mandela took over, they were expelled from all world sporting events, including cricket and rugby, their two most popular sports in South Africa. It's very common where you'll see expulsions in bad wartime era. And there's been swimmers, gymnasts, the soccer teams, the basketball teams, and most controversially, the tennis players have. Tennis is the one sport that's 50-50. It really depends on the tournament. I personally don't have an opinion on it. I understand why certain teams and athletes will be expelled. It's what you do during the war. It's a form of sanctioning. Why allow Russians to watch at home and be happy when they're doing what they're doing? And that's really what it comes down to. So no, Russia will not be allowed to play in the World Cup. That is official. But if Ukraine wins on Sunday versus Wales, noon on ESPN2, if you're in America and you want to watch, you can watch. And if they beat Wales, they will advance to the World Cup in Qatar. It starts the day after Thanksgiving.
All right. I'm going to put this on as a special announcement when I distribute our podcast. I might as well watch, click in myself.
It's going to be very emotional. It's going to be very emotional. I mean, this is the last game before they get to go if they win. And I think you're going to see a rise in popularity of Ukrainian soccer. And you're going to see some really positive things coming out of Ukrainian soccer over the next 2 decades.
Very good. We're going to end today, I think, on that positive note, and we're going to have Natalie do her usually ending in Russian. Slava Ukraini.
Здравствуйте, спасибо большое Бернадетт и Мэтью, что имеют меня сегодня в студии. Я немножко переведу то, о чем мы сегодня говорили. Мы рассказывали, что с Бернадетт мы ездили на прошлой неделе, встречались со школой, называется Peconic Community School. В этой школе детки делали спектакль и танцевали, и показывали искусство, что они делали и в течение года, и продавали билеты родителям. И деньги с этого концерта были пожертвованы iLoveUkraine. Было очень приятно. Мы с Бернадетт пришли и разговаривали с детками, и вы видели фотографии с нашей встречи. Также другая школа в Саутгемптон, она называется Southampton Children's School. У них был благотворительный вечер, и они дали самую дорогую вещь с живого аукциона, чтобы деньги с продажи пошли в iLoveUkraine, и это была картина, которую вы предварительно видели тоже. Мы также рассказывали о том, что мы хотели бы купить скорую помощь, и мы просили тех, кто может сделать какие-то пожертвования на том же самом веб-сайте iLoveUkraine.org. И спасибо большое Мэтью и Бернадетт за то, что они рассказали нам немножко о футболе. Мы знаем, как люди любят футбол на Украине и во всем мире. Слава Украине! Спасибо большое.
Thanks I was so fascinated by listening to Matt speak. I never